Hi everyone, I hope everyone's doing okay. In this segment, we're just going to be discussing Game of Thrones, and we're going to elaborate on what the Game of Thrones is and its connection to the cosmological symbology and allegories part of the biblical narrative.
If we look at the introduction of Game of Thrones, we can see that it's very revealing and they give away a lot of codes in there. We can also see where they're displaying the mechanization, the operation of all of the cosmic bodies. It actually shows it in the introduction of Game of Thrones. People can look at the intro, you'll start seeing that it's actually a giveaway as per even what this quote solar system looks like, and all of the moving bodies and where each of them are placed, and then the battle they're in.
It's just one example now of hundreds gathered so far of the movie archetypes relative to the cosmic bodies and the convergence of the event horizon. In simple speak, what bodies are going to converge to ignite the new king. The Game of Thrones and the Whore of Babylon symbology is all relative to the changing kings who have intercourse with Sirius. Denoted as the Whore of Babylon in the Bible, and there's two meanings of that. So the celestial meaning is because she has celestial convergences, celestial intercourses, celestial crossings, because that's what the crucifixion really denotes. So she has convergences with the different kings through the ages, and the fact that we are in Sirius's duality system, and that the earth becomes more corrupted towards the end of the age. So the earth does become a prostitute in that sense. It becomes corrupted, it becomes tainted through the precession of the equinoxes.
And that's where we see the transference in the cosmic wars of kingship as Sirius moves in and out. So we can see that as she moves out, other players move in, the cosmic war begins and then has intercourse with the bodies.
And then she comes back again and has intercourse again. And this is how it's always gone for thousands of years. So just to, again, give a different perspective of what people have been entrained to believe. So there are often sub-layers and sub-levels of meanings in the esoteric translations. At the beginning of the age is when she is the Holy Mother, because after the earth is purified, it's a virgin after that, because it's been purified through fire. So once it goes through that alchemical process, Sirius becomes the virgin again on this earthen layer.
She approaches closer and she comes inward. That's when the purifier also comes.
This is the irony of it all, is that the corruptive element is also the purifier. So this is, again, where we are within a duality element by design. And it goes, all the celestial bodies go through their transmuting process as we do, as below. So, because obviously we are all connected to these star bodies. You know, literally, we are the essence of the stars.
We are the stars.
So there's been many examples in TV series over decades, with the introduction of the mass media, that the mystery schools were using television as a forum to to release their secrets, where there is a window of opportunity allowed for everybody to discover their origins and being from the stars. So we are the celestial atoms and Eve's in expression. There are codes in the names given, and decoding can be a very tricky thing where there is a law of confusion applied by the mystery schools, because I've spent a lot of time pinpointing the parallels in some of these codes to start picking up the patterns, and often the names that they choose to apply them to certain celestial archetypes. When you start seeing the patterns of that, it gives you the answers of who they're actually playing, which celestial body are they actually representing. So that's been very interesting, and I've been picking up more cues regarding Saturn, and we'll be covering Saturn more so in a near future topic. We'll dedicate that to a discussion regarding Saturn, because it is another major key. But I will just say now that Saturn is one of the brothers of the birthing time. It is one of the atoms. So, for example, when we look at what atom really represents as the husband of Sirius, because we did decode that Eve is actually Sirius, outlined in Bigger Secrets of the Age, that I do recommend people view if they haven't seen it already, then once you realize that, it does help assemble more of the keys. So there was the first atom, and there's another atom.
And through the merging of both become male and female combined, yes, which is the definition of Yahweh, because half of that means the male and the other half means the female. Yeah. So
well, we also see that in the word hermaphrodite, which mm-hmm. is Hermes and Aphrodite combined. Mm-hmm. So,
and Aphrodite.
Yes. So, again, the codes are in the names, and we have to be very careful, because even a lot of in the information that is out there that people often use as research, a lot of that has been dispensed by the mystery schools. They will give you clues, go through the folder regarding the movie archetypes, because they will give a lot of clues, and you'll start actually seeing the patterns, how they're representing celestial bodies. And you will even start to notice what names are applied, and you will notice the patterns. So there's John Wick, John Q,
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow, a celestial body that's in the outer regions, which is cold. To Jupiter and Saturn are very alike and like brothers in their celestial makeup. They're both primarily made of hydrogen and helium, and that's actually why they are both going to ignite as suns. So just as Star Wars depicted two suns, they call it the Tatooine sun. So that is a revelation there in itself. Even the Hopi prophecy speaks of the two brothers made in each other's image. We're going to cover more of this in different segments, but I will just say that Saturn and Jupiter represent both the lawyers and the judges. And I did outline in previous video that the anagram of Jesus Christ is chess jurist. It is the return of the chess jurist, okay, which is the celestial judges and lawyers. And they do have their own consciousness, mm-hmm. and they are going to bring the sword of judgment and division in their interplay with the Holy Mother. Now, it is worth saying about Sirius. Sirius has a dual aspect. She is both the nurturer, the healer. However, she too is an instrument of justice. This is the duality system by design. Though Sirius does determine who actually goes through her portal. All these, her and the judges in tow, which is Jupiter and Saturn.
Yeah, and this is the reason why also all celestials are here at this moment in time, as I stated before, because all of them, we all have to be here for the convergence of the event horizon, because this is
the sifting.
This is, yeah.
And that's the thing, it is the culmination of thousands of years of incarnations.
These cosmic wrestling matches have been ongoing for thousands and thousands of years. And so finally, at this juncture, this will ignite.
Well, yeah, wrestling match, and also akin to a boxing match. So if you look at the movie Rocky, if you break down the code of that, it's the Y rock, which is the Yahweh rock in the celestial jewel.
Hey, fool, you ready for another beating? You should have never came back.
Don't look at me. Let's just be cool.
Hey, boy. Hey, boy. After I crucify him, you next.
Just stay out of my face, chump.
Don't turn your back on me, sucker. We had a problem before the bell.
And Saturn isn't a planet either. Saturn and Jupiter, I guess you could class them both as sub-brown dwarfs. There is going to be that alchemical process through them all coming together, and this is the poetry of it, and how none of it is an accident. It is all by a designated placement, and it does work, as we have said before, like the celestial gears, exactly like the intro of the Game of Thrones shows. It is literally appointed gears.
There's something profoundly interesting with this convergence of the event horizon and the ignition, because the whole thing where whatever you think of and whatever energy you attribute yourself to, you can manifest. So there's a lot of ideas that people think that all of this can be somehow diverted, but they can't. It can't, because this is the celestial event, and we are the celestial event. So here's the thing. That ignition is also, because we're stars, that ignition is also what we ourselves are going through. So although on the macro level, it is terrifying for people, because this means that all of this paradigm is going down. It is going to be refined through the fire of purification. But that is also what's going to happen to us, because we are going to be ignited as a star, not a failed brown dwarf. So
exactly.
This is exactly what is happening out there on the macro level. Celestially is what is happening celestially on the micro level in our own ignition. And that is the leap in evolution of all consciousness and all matter in all verses.
And that is something actually to be very excited about. Once you get through the fear factor in this more dreamlike reality within a universal containment system. So it's layers of containment, but we are going to go through a process of breaking through to another level. If we have merged positively to a positive alignment and gone through a positive evolution process, which we've all been tested, because obviously there is an adversarial component to this duality framework.
And that's the splitting of the cells, which I speak about, where in the convergence of the event horizons, there will be a splitting, because essentially you have a new universe, a new infiniverse being created, and it is being created now. However, the ones that are locked into the negative aspect and have not ignited and not lit themselves up through their own personal refinement, they will stay in this cell and live out their own manifestation. But we will have nothing to do with that, because at that juncture, after the convergence occurs, this we're not going to be in this place.
So, to bring it to the Game of Thrones now, when we look at the Game of Thrones, it does obviously apply to the star bodies and what are termed as planets, and how obviously, we cannot always accept what the mainstream sciences have offered the public, where there are mystery schools in operation, where there is the real celestial knowledge which has been delegated to the mystery schools to disseminate. So in determining what the Elohim really are, okay, obviously they're celestial lords, celestial bodies, star bodies, and Eve to Sirius did have a father and a mother, and that's why in the bigger secrets of the age I did term that creators create creators. However, this universal framework, this is Sirius's duality matrix. So in bigger secrets of the age, we were more confining that information to the universal framework. We didn't really extend beyond that, though we will cover certain aspects even beyond Sirius, beyond the Sirian gates, because there is obviously a multiverse framework of existence. So, but obviously I wanted to focus more on what is relevant to our journey and what we're facing here in the realm of oppositions of duality. Where opposition and adversary is inevitable by design and by all the entities that are placed within this framework, both positive and negative geared in their frequency. The Garden of Eden, the celestial garden, but obviously the accounts of the Bible do apply to us because they are applying the allegory to humans, though it still fits in relevance because we are the micro to the macro. So the choices of Adam and Eve do apply, and the temptations, so forth, do apply to us in the flesh. So they're still giving the truth, but again, it is coded by the mystery schools.
This time, the convergence of the event horizon is because it's all of the event horizons coming together in a convergence. It's every celestial body. It's everyone. Whereas in the past, it wasn't a convergence of them all. But in the past, we see that towards the end, towards the midnight hour, in other cycles, they always revealed pretty much everything. They put it out there.
Yeah, being able to gather 200 examples so far in films. I mean, it's getting to the point that it's just getting ridiculous. I'm almost getting bored of just seeing it everywhere. Because like I said, once you start recognizing the codes, it's everywhere. The movie Lucy, played by Scarlett Johansson, the Scarlet Woman, Babylon, Whore of Babylon. The primary aspect is, though she does have the male on this level, the male aspect is split off into the duality.
But in this level, she
on a sub-level,
chose, to be the feminine aspect, carrying the masculine, of course. But there is an aspect of this that in this last, which is like almost the beginning and the alpha and the omega, right? It's the beginning and the end coming again to the beginning, where she chooses the feminine form.
Yes. And Venus being a more shadow aspect of her, because Venus was made in her image also, but the inverted aspect.
Mm-hmm. The shadow image.
The shadow image, exactly. Because there are, in the duality level, that's how it works. But there are many, many sub-levels and layers way beyond the scope of what really anyone could cover in encapsulation.